welcome to On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway, author of On This Day in Tudor History. Now I'm taking you back to King Henry VII's reign today. For on this day in Tudor history, the 16th of February 1495, Sir William Stanley, administrator and landowner, was executed for treason on Tower Hill. William was born in around 1435 and was the second son of Thomas Stanley, 1st Baron Stanley, and his wife Joan. During the Wars of the Roses, the Stanleys supported the Yorkists, and William ended up being attainted as a traitor following the Battle of Blore Heath in 1459. William's support of the Nevilles and Yorkists led to King Edward IV appointing him as Chamberlain of Chester, Constable of Flint Castle, and Sheriff of Flintshire, and knighting him following his accession in 1461. William served Edward IV loyally, even when Richard Neville, Earl of Warwick, rebelled against the king and deposed him, forcing Edward to flee into exile. William also supported Edward when Edward returned from exile to claim the throne once again. William's biographer Michael J. Bennett writes of how William and his younger brother Thomas Stanley, who'd later become Earl of Derby, reluctantly acquiesced in the usurpation of Richard III in 1483, and that they then helped put down the rebellion of the Duke of Buckingham. However, it seems that the Stanleys were in contact with Henry Tudor regarding his return from exile and his plan to claim the throne. Following Henry's landing in Wales in August 1485, William set off with 3,000 men from his property of Holt Castle, a few miles from Wrexham in North Wales, while his brother Thomas set off with his men from Lancashire. The Stanley brothers are, of course, known for helping Henry Tudor at the Battle of Bosworth Field on the 22nd of August 1485 by committing their troops to Henry's side against King Richard III at a critical stage of the battle and saving the day for Henry. The new king, Henry VII, rewarded William for his support by appointing him as Chamberlain of the king's household. In 1487, William sided with his king during the Lambert-Simnel Rebellion, and in 1489 helped him put down the Yorkshire Rebellion. So how did William go from being a loyal supporter of the king to being executed as a traitor? Well, it was alleged that he supported the pretender Perkin Warbeck, who claimed to be Richard, Duke of York, son of Edward IV and one of the princes in the Tower. According to the charges against him, William had discussed Warbeck with Robert Clifford and had sent Clifford to Brabant to assure Warbeck of his support. Contemporary historian Polydore Virgil recorded that William had told Clifford that if he was sure that the man was Edward's son, he would never take up arms against him. Now, William had been a loyal supporter of King Edward IV, as you've heard, and had served his eldest son Edward as steward of his household. But, as Virgil notes, what he said to Clifford about Warbeck would indicate lukewarmness towards King Henry rather than treason. On the 6th and 7th of February 1495, William was tried for treason. His brother Thomas presided over the trial as Constable of England. William confessed to treason, hoping perhaps, as Virgil states, that by ready confession he would obtain his life from the king. If that was the plan, it didn't work. Even though William had previously been loyal to King Henry VII and was the brother of the king's stepfather, the king had to act. Virgil writes that Henry feared such leniency to be dangerous to himself. Others would be encouraged by William's avoidance of punishment and would undertake similar acts of folly. Sir William Stanley was found guilty of treason and condemned to a full traitor's death, to be hanged, drawn and quartered. The sentence was, however, commuted to the more merciful method of beheading. William was beheaded on Tower Hill on this day in history, the 16th of February 1495. He was about 60 years old. He was laid to rest at Sion Abbey. Also on this day in Tudor history, the 16th of February 1547, the remains of King Henry VIII were buried at St George's Chapel, Windsor Castle. And you can find out more about his burial in last year's video, which I'll give you a link to. Thank you for joining me. You can subscribe to the channel by clicking that subscribe button round about there. You can hit the bell to be notified as these videos go live. You can give me a thumbs up as well and leave a comment. Thank you. you. Bye-bye.